Okay, so the weight sometimes can be our friend and sometimes it can be our enemy. We're going to start with the legs nice and long. And we're going to be in that little Pilates stance, so your heels are kissing, right, and toes are turned out. If that's not cool for your hips, you go to parallel. I just want you to reach those arms parallel to the floor. I want you to feel the back of those legs pressing into the mat. I want you to feel your sits bones lighter on the mat, like you're sitting on thumbtacks. So I certainly wouldn't go back this way. I'd want to come more this way. Good. We're going to lift those arms straight up on an inhale. The spine went tall. On the exhale, keep that spine just as tall. And again, inhale, lift. Exhale, lower to parallel. Come a little more forward. Flex at your hips. Yeah. Exhale. I'm also firing my armpit muscles to give a little more support to my shoulder girdle. One more. I'm going to inhale. Then I'm going to exhale. Now I want you to reach more towards your toes and round over a beach ball. Keep this round shape and start to come back. I'm going to stop halfway. Freeze right here. Relax the shoulders. Turn your head this way so you can see my form versus your form. So I can't be flat and rounded. The arm closest to me, floated towards me. Bring it back to center. Opposite arm. Make sure your thighs are wrapping. It will help support the abdominals. I come forward towards me, inhaling, good. Exhale. Inhale, I'm rotating through my spine, my thoracic spine. I inhale, reach. Exhale, one more. Inhale. And exhale, we'll come all the way down. Arms are straight up, shoulders are down. Using your core, slide your right foot towards your glute. I'm using my core and my hamstrings and slide that leg back out. These are called leg slides. Make the rib cage heavier on your mat. The left foot's going to slide towards your seat and lengthen back out. So it's not just about moving the leg, it's pulling that leg in from your abdominals and reach it back out. And we inhale, lengthen. Exhale. Now I'm going to add my arms, turn the palms in. As I draw my leg towards me, your arms are going to go long and reach all the way down to your mat. Bring them back up and slide that leg back out. Good. And again, other leg. Pulling it in and pressing it back out. And again, inhale to exhale. And one more. Inhale to exhale. Now I'm going to take both knees in and the weights go down towards the mat. I'm going to bridge up, tuck your tail, press through your center line. My hands are on my weights. I'm pushing those weights into my mat. And I'm going to lower down, articulating my spine, vertebrae by vertebrae. Tuck your tail. Your butt comes off the mat. We inhale. Belly's pulling in, belly's pulling in. Exhale. Lengthen the spine. Give me one more, please. Tuck your tail. Lift up. Drive those knees forward. And then exhale all the way down. Take the arms back up over your chest. And once you draw your knees one at a time, way into your chest, feel how heavy your back gets. We're going to bend the elbows. The weights go towards our shoulders. And straighten those arms back up. Now hold the arms still. My toes are going to tap down onto the mat and draw my knees way in. Back to the arms. Bend the arms. Press them straight up. Tap your toes. Keep your back heavy. Bring it back up. Inhale, bend the elbows. Exhale, press them up. Inhale, tap your toes. Exhale, draw it up. Arms bend and extend. Toes tap, back stays heavy, knees draw in. Arms bend, straighten, squeeze a tricep. Tap those toes. Good. Now at the same time, as I bend my elbows, my toes tap down and then press back up. I inhale away from my center, exhale back up. Make sure the pelvis isn't going with you. And I can still feel my back pressing into that floor. Two more. Inhaling down. Exhaling up. And last one, inhaling up, exhaling down. Now slide your knees out until they're directly over the hips and your shins are parallel to the floor. I'm going to take my right arm straight behind me and my left toes are going to tap down. Bring it back up. Now my left arm is going to reach back only as far as my temple, no further. Come back up. And right arm, left leg, bring it back up. Your back should still be heavy. And left arm, keep the arm super straight. Inhale as I reach away. Exhale to come back up. Inhale as I reach. Exhale to come back up. One more each side. Squeeze into that armpit. And keep those shoulders heavy on the mat. And then put the weights on your shins and hug your knees in. Great. You have two choices. A little bit easier version is to take your feet down on the mat. Harder would be keep your legs in that tabletop. Take the arms straight up, palms face forward. You can keep your head down on this next set, or I'm going to nod my chin to my chest. I'm going to press my arms towards my mat. They're going to stop at hip height, and I return my head and arms back where they started. Draw that chin to your chest. I'm going to inhale up. Exhale, return. If this is hurting your neck, don't lift it. If it's hurting your back, don't lift your head and return back down. Make sure you nod your chin to your chest first. You don't want to lift it by the weight of your head on that neck. Two more. Curl it up on an inhale. Exhale. Last one, inhale. I'm going to stay here on the exhale. I'm going to release my weights, reach my arms long. I'm going to zip my legs up, next level. Harder, take my legs away. I'm going to start to tap my arms into water. And now I'm going to breathe. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe into the nose. Breathe out. That's too easy. Lower the legs, but make sure there's no space between your back and the mat. Breathe in, eyes to belly. Breathe out. Squeeze those armpits. Reach those arms long. If this hurts your back, go to a tabletop. If that still doesn't help you, put your feet down. We got this. Breathe in. Breathe out. You got one more to go. Breathe in. Breathe out. Grab back onto those weights. Head down. Knees in. And put those weights back on top of those shins. If you're feeling strain to your neck, look to one direction. And then look the other direction. We're going to bring those legs and arms straight up. Straight up. Palms are turned in. Shoulders are heavy. My arms are going to reach to each side. And then press back up and anchor the belly deeper. Inhale, fly those arms open. Exhale, resist coming back up. Out, inhale, out. Exhale, up. Now let's add the right leg lowering down to parallel. Inhale, exhale. Left leg, inhale. Keep your back heavy. Use your abdominals to bring that leg back up. My toes are reaching long for that wall in front of me. Inhaling down. Exhaling up. One more each leg. Inhale. To exhale. And one more. Inhale. And exhale. Keep the arms there, but lower the legs all the way down to the floor. Try to keep the belly engaged and the back heavy. So right here, your back may have a little bit of an arch, but that's going to go away as soon as we start to come up. So turn the palms to face forward. Connect the shoulders to your back. Wrap your thighs into a Pilates stance. Draw the chin to your chest. The weights are going to start to reach for your toes. This is an inhale. And on the exhale, pull yourself up and over. So you should be inside that tractor tire. Stay inside that tractor tire as you roll back down. I'm staying grounded. I'm tucking my tail, taking my time, and coming straight up. Try that again. Draw the chin to your chest. Eyes to belly. Inhale. Exhale. Reach. Keep those arms reaching for those toes as you come back. Inhaling. Relax those shoulders. Exhale.
We're going to change it. Eyes to belly, inhale. On the exhale, stack your spine straight up and sweep those arms up, 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 bing. Now the elbows are going to slide down each side of the room. Squeeze those back muscles. Press back up. C-curve, reach towards the toes and roll back down. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Try that again. Draw the chin to your chest. Inhale. Exhale. Up, 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 up. Pull the elbows down. Do it one more time. Pull the elbows down. Reach the fingertips forward. Chin to chest, round the spine, and melt back down. Watch those shoulders. Breathe. Don't hold the breath. One more. Eyes to belly. Inhale. Find that lower back. Exhale. Up, up, up. Pull those elbows down, resisting. Squeeze the blades. Bring it back up. Do it again. Pull it down. Press it back up. Pull it down. We're going to stay here a little bit longer. Try to sit taller, like I'm right behind you, and my leg is right in the center of your spine, pushing you more forward. Yep. 2 more. Pull it down. Press it up. And 1 more. And we'll roll it back down. C curve. Tuck the tail. Shoulders are relaxed. Hug those knees in. Yes. Take the palms, turn them in towards each other, but put the weights on the mat standing up. So I'm holding on to them like a hammer. Good. I want you to put your right leg straight up, and the left leg comes down to the mat. You can keep the left leg bent. It may feel better to your lower back, or you can slide that leg out. Even harder, the leg will hover off the floor. But this leg is up to the ceiling. That kneecap is turned away. My rib cage is heavy. I'm going to draw a circle with my big toe counterclockwise. Round to come up. 1. Inhale, exhale. 2. Inhale, let's reverse it. Away, zip up. 1. Your sits bones don't go with you, nor does the pelvis or the hips. Bend that knee, bring the other leg straight up. You can keep the opposite leg bent. You can slide it out. You can hover it straight off the mat. Turn that leg that's up to 90 away from you, that kneecap. Anchor down the belly, and we circle clockwise. Round and come up. 1. Inhale, exhale. 2. Inhale, exhale. 3. Reverse it. Away, zip up. 1. I am not letting my back lift off that mat. Good. Both feet on the floor, legs fist width apart. Bridge up for me. Press through those weights. Open the chest. Fire those glutes. Hold it here. I'm going to get back onto my mat a little bit more. Hang tight. Now I can make this harder and lift my arms straight up. So I took away some anchors there. Make sure if you did that, this is okay with your lower back, your neck. Everything is pulling in. Now I'm going to do little marches. I'm going to take my right leg first. Knee over hip to a tabletop. Put it back down. Other leg lifts and bring it back down. The hips shouldn't move. And the hamstring shouldn't be getting cramped because we're firing those glutes, pushing down those shoulders. I exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. Good. Now, lower your bridge down. You can keep the arms up, or if you want more support, you can put them back down. I'm going to lengthen my right leg straight out onto the mat. And I'm going to lift that leg as I come into a bridge. So I lift it up all at one time. I lower the leg, I drop it back down. You can keep your booty on the mat the whole time. I lift up, I come down. I lift up, I come down. 2 more, and this is not an articulating bridge, it's everything up. Hold this one up. Lower the leg, lift it. Lower the leg, lift it. 3 more, looking good. 2 more. 1 more. Slide that heel in, fix your bridge. Lower it down. Take your time. Opposite leg lengthens long. Now I'm going to bridge up as I kick my leg up, or you keep your butt on the mat. Here we go. And I lower. Shoulders down, driving through that right foot. Squeeze that right glute. Take your time. Good. Now, hold this one up if you choose and lower the leg and lift it up. Down, up. Keep those hips still. Keep your pelvis still. 3, 2. Lower that heel to the mat. Slide that foot in. Fix your bridge. Inhale, nothing. Exhale, melt back down. Take your time. And hug those knees in. Nicely done. Remember, weights are optional, so when we do these ab series exercises, you can put them down at any time. And if you have the weights in your hands, but your neck needs more support, choose to put the weights down and put the hands behind your head to support. Remember, your head never has to lift off the mat. So I'm going to inhale, nothing. On the exhale, I'll nod my chin to my chest, lift up until my shoulder blades are off the mat. Reach the arms long, parallel to the floor, palms turned in. Right knee comes way in, left leg presses long. Now switch the same time, and switch. Now if you want, I'm gonna add hammer curls as my legs are moving. My upper arm is glued to my side, and my arms don't touch my mat. I inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale. My back should be heavy. My belly should be firing to hold my head up. Breathe, don't forget to breathe. It's part of the exercise. And I go for 4. Good. 3, 2, and 1. Hug everything in and put that head down. So we know what to do if we feel strain. We look to one side and then look to the other side. Give that neck a little stretch and bring it back to center. Okay, so we keep getting harder. I'm going to press against my shins. Inhale, nothing. Exhale, nod the chin to your chest. Now, I'm going to reach my weights for my ankles. Now, I want you to take your right arm and right leg away from your center. Nothing else moved. Bring it back in. Left arm, left leg, anchor down the belly. Now, if that's too easy, do both arms, both legs, and come back in. Let's try single again. Right arm, right leg, inhale. Exhale in. Left arm, left leg, inhale. Exhale in. Both if you choose. Give me 2 again. Single. Inhale. Bring it in, exhale. Inhale. If you're doing doubles, give me 2. Reach out. Draw it in. Last one. Reach it out. And then hug it in. And then do the neck turns if you need that stretch. Okay, check in with your back, your neck, your shoulders, your hips. I'm going to draw my legs straight up. My arms go straight down to my mat. I zip my legs up. Crown of my head is reaching long. I'm in a Pilates V. My thighs are wrapping. My right leg is going to go towards the floor. My left leg goes towards me. And then I switch. You choose how big to make your movement, but we don't move the pelvis. We don't let the back. You're moving all over that mat. Next level, you can draw your chin to your chest. Next level from here, I'm going to take my weights off the floor, and I'm going to tap my weights towards each other behind the leg. So it's 2 weights go behind. If you want to go faster, you can go faster. If you want to go slower, you go slower. But you pay attention to the back and the neck. 4, good. 3, 2, we're so quiet in here. And 1, and release. Let's do a little stretch for our back real quick. So I'm going to take my hands out like a V. Palms are facing inward. Take your feet down. My knees are bent. Drop your knees to one side. Keep the arms and shoulders pressing into the floor. Use your core to come back those legs. And then float your knees to the opposite side. Keep those shoulders heavy. And we'll bring it up. Now I'm going to do double straight leg lower lift. I'm going to put a weight between my feet, okay? If you are not convinced 110% that you are not going to drop your weight, do not put the weight between your feet because it's going right over your face. I'm just warning you. I mean, we can do this stuff, but you got to make sure you understand how to hold it between your feet. If you're not having a weight, you'll be in a Pilates stance. We're going to zip it up and put your hands under your booty. Okay? Now the legs are going to go 1, 2, 3, back up to 90, no closer. Relax those shoulders. Shoulders. Inhale, 2, 3. Reach, 2. I was trying not to say your name. I try to center my breath. 2, 3. Exhale. And reach long. Belly stays in strong. It doesn't go with you. How are we doing? Do you want a heavier weight? And down, down, down. If you want to come up and lift up, that's another option. You can come up and lift your booty. Down, 2, 3. 1 more. Woo! And hug it in. Grab that weight. Woo! Check in with your neck. All right, and I'll put one weight again in each hand. Obliques. So the oblique one, when I steer, let me explain this. When I'm up and I'm straddling my arms like this, I'm going side to side, I want you to still feel like that bowling ball's on your torso. So my back isn't rolling all over the place. I'm staying anchored. You see, I can still move side to side with my arms and still hit these pockets, but my back still stays heavy. Does that make any sense? You have to visualize one of these weights right there on your rib cage and not letting that weight fall off, okay? So a lot of times I see people doing crisscross with their hands behind their head, right? And instead of staying up and staying grounded here, they're going like this, right? 0, okay? On your report card, that's a 0. So, watch your form. So I'm going to draw my knees way in. I'm going to start with my arms up over my chest and my shoulders down. Sometimes I'm going to spit it out, brutally honest, but that's the way it is. So I'm going to draw my chin to my chest. My waist will straddle both legs for right now. Now, the leg closest to me is going to bend in. And I'm going to straddle that leg with 2 weights. Here's my straddle. Got it? Now when I'm switching to the other side and I'm looking to the outside of that thigh, my back is still heavy. My rib cage is still holding that weight on it, right? But I can still rotate through that thoracic spine. I'm still twisting and hitting these oblique pockets. Side, side. Let's make it harder. Hold. Bring the straight leg up. Take it back out. Switch, hold. Lift up. Out. Lift up. Down. Switch. Lift up. Down. Switch. Lift up. Down. Switch. Last one. And draw it in. I'm on a creaky board. That's not my back cracking. It's the board. Look to one direction with your neck and look to the other direction. Good. Rock yourself up. That wasn't so bad, was it? Okay. So I want you to take those arms. Hold your hammers, hold the candlesticks. My legs are as wide as my mat, and I'm resting my weights for a second, as long as my arms are, right? So I'm not going to bend my elbows and be on a certain part of my leg. My feet are flexed, the back of my legs are trying to push into the floor. So a lot of us are here. I want you to feel like I pushed you forward. Moving from my armpit muscles, I'm going to stay in this V and bring those arms up to parallel and gently bring it back down. If you want to hover over those shins, that's fine. And lower it back down. Up taller. You are sitting on thumbtacks, kids. How would you sit on your butt if you were sitting on top of a thumbtack? Just saying. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. If this is too much with weights,
Do without them, but do not lean back and do not let the belly collapse. Pull that navel in and zip it up. We got 4 more to go. Here's 4, 3, 2 more. Here's 2, and 1. Put the weights all the way down. Reach those arms parallel to the floor. My belly did not get a break yet. So if I see you go like that, I know you gave it a break. All right, if you need to sit up tall, you can bend your knees, but don't feel pressure here. That means your shoulders are up. I'm gonna inhale, grow an inch taller in my spine. Exhale, draw my chin to my chest. My arms are gonna slide towards that wall in front of me. I'm going over that beach ball, but my lower back is against that wall. My arms should be right beside my ears. Suck your belly in, pinch your sit bones, lift up from your belly, not your back. Inhale. Exhale, chin to chest, scoop and round. You want that nice big stretch. Inhale. Feel like that beach ball is right here, and as you're going over, you're trying to push your navel and the rib cage away from that beach ball. Bring it back up. Let's just do 1 more, because I love to do those. Exhale forward. Good. Inhale back up. Exhale. Release. Bring those legs together. I hope there's room behind you. If not, scoop forward. I'm going to lay all the way down. Take the weights with you. Draw the knees in. Rest those weights on your shins. I always like to start on my back with hugging the knees in, just to make sure my lower back is okay. So I'm going to bring my arms to a bend, and my legs are going to be like a frog position. What's the frog position? Well, your feet are in a Pilates stance. Your knees are apart, only as wide as your shoulders, okay? So I want you to press everything up like a chest press. Then I'm going to take everything out like a wide V, arms and legs. Come back in and frog in and bend your elbows. So I'm going to do a chest press slow. I want your back going heavier into the mat. Now it's heavy. Keep it that way. As I reach apart, my toes are reaching long. Squeeze those inner thighs to come back in and frog back in. Lift up. Open it up. Bring it back together. Lower back down. My knees separate. As I'm coming up, my inner thighs glue together. Everything separates. It stays together. Arms and legs. Squeeze everything you got to return back home. And we'll do that 1 more time. We're going to press it up. We're going to open. Now this time, hold it up. Now I'm going to open only as wide as my frame. And then my right foot's going to cross in front of my left. My right arm crosses in front. I open back up. Then left arm goes across the right as the left leg goes across the right and open. We're going to pick it up. Cross, open, cross, open. So right now my belly is not getting a break. I'm making movements here and my core has to be engaged with movement. My shoulders are heavy. My belly is deep. Exhale, cross, inhale, regroup, exhale. Now, keep it smaller and a little faster. Cross, open, cross. So I'm not even going as wide as my hips. It's very quick, it's very close. Legs are reaching long, arms are reaching long, belly is heavy. And 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Release, hug it in. Good. Okay, rock yourself up. Take your legs as wide as your mat. Release the weights. I always do soft, great rotational exercise. If you cannot sit tall with the legs straight, bend them. Reach the arms out like a T, shoulders heavy. Inhale, twist towards me so I can see your gorgeous face. On the exhale, soft your baby toe. Look at your backhand. From the belly, lift up, not the back. Watch those shoulders. And then exhale, reach across to the other side. Inhale, up, rotate, 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 rotate. Shh. Lift up. Don't let the hip lift with you. Keep the butt cheeks pushing down. That was our last one. Aw. Bring it back up and then release. We're going to swing our legs around. The weight to be towards where our feet were. We're going to come onto our stomachs. Okay. So I'm going to start with my hands underneath my armpits for now. Depending on how tight your lower back is. If you would go up into a swan and it doesn't feel as good with your legs closer, try it further apart. Or if you know you have a lower back issue, legs further apart. Okay? All right, so if you're good to go, the legs are sit bone width apart, your nose is on the mat, your elbows are off the mat, your belly button's pulling in away from the mat. All right, roll that marble with your nose and lift up the chest. Keep the navel on the mat. Shoulders should be away from those ears. Now, I want you looking out, not up. I want your neck in line with your spine. Come down a little more with your chin. More. Keep going. There. And then lower back down. Yep. So roll that marble. It's just like an inch. Then start to come up. But I'm lifting from my chest and my head's just along for the ride. So I'm looking down at my mat. And then exhale, lower. Drive through those hands. Try that again. Shoulders roll back as you're lifting up. And then exhale, down. Okay, now I want you to take your arms like a goalpost. Weights aren't being touched yet. So I'm going to lift up my arms off my mat and my head and chest. I'm hovering. Now hold this position if you're able. Press those arms straight out in front of you. Now lead with your pinkies in your hand. Separate those arms and reach back behind you, lifting your chest higher. Bend your arms to that goalpost and put your head back down. That was a lot, so try that again. Lift up the arms, the head, the chest. Press them out, straight out. Pull them back, Pinkies are trying to come together. Squeeze your seat, open the chest, come back down. Now, if you have light enough weights, and I would never do Pilates with anything heavier than 3s, but 3s might be too heavy on this. If you got something lighter, grab onto your weights. So my goalpost is going to come off my mat. Lift your head and chest. Push those arms out. Sweep them behind you. Bend the arms. Don't touch the mat with your arms anymore. Press those arms out. Pull back. Now you lift higher that head and chest. Hover your mat. Bend the arms. Inhale. Push them out. Exhale. Push them away. Pull them back. And now bend and release the weights. Hands right by your armpits. Press back into a child's pose. Scoop the belly and round the back. Breathe for me. Inhaling. Expand the rib cage. Exhale. Close it back up. Come into a quadruped position for me. Good. And put a weight into your left hand. All right, so make sure your back is level, so it's only here, sticking out my seat. I tuck my tail, flatten everything out, squeeze into my armpits. So I'm going to bend my right knee off the mat. I'm going to pull my left elbow back. So the knee is bent, and so is my elbow. Okay? That doesn't mean my hips went with me. As I straighten my arm, my leg straightens. And I bend everything back in. I'm going to inhale out, exhale in. So this is sort of like spinal balance, but we're adding some triceps, hamstrings. Now see if you can keep the leg parallel, but bend the knee when the elbow bends, and then press out. So I'm not driving my knee in and pushing it out. I'm bending my knee, straightening my leg, just as my arm is. We doing okay? 2 more. 1 more. Now hold it back there. Flip the palm to face the ceiling and pulse the arm and the leg. Where do you feel that in your upper body? It should be your tricep, rear delt. Fire that glute to that straight leg. And I go for 4, 3, 2, hold it, and release. I'm going to sit back on my heels for a second and just do some wrist circles. Did we survive that?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so if we didn't survive that, we need to modify this other side, right? So maybe don't lift the leg, or maybe don't do so many reps, or maybe go into a forearm, play with it. All right, here we go. Fresh weight coming up. So the weight's in my right hand. I make sure I got all my alignments. Hip, knee, shoulder, wrist, back flat, belly scooping. So I'm gonna bend my right elbow. My left leg is gonna bend. So I lifted that knee up, so I have it bent. Then I'm gonna try in a perfect world to have my knee parallel with the hip in straight lines. I wouldn't be down here, I'm gonna try to be here. Sometimes I can do it, sometimes I can't. Here we go. Straighten the arm and the leg, and then come back in. Inhale, exhale. So if you're feeling strain to your back, you gotta pull that belly in more. And if that still doesn't help, maybe put that leg down and just do the arm for a little bit. And then maybe just do the leg and ditch the weight. Play with it. Make sure you glance every once in a while at that standing leg and make sure it's not going crooked. My elbow and my knee are trying to stay in that same spot. One more. Hold it back there if you're able. Flip the palm up and pulse. So I know you can't probably see my opposite hand, but it started at hip height and I'm pressing an inch above that. Just like my leg started at hip height, it's going an inch above that. 8, come on, 7, 6, how are we doing? Are we still friends? 3, 2, pause, and release. Okay, you did it, and that wasn't so bad. Okay, so I want you to come into a forearm plank. A lot of work tonight. I forgot already how many days till spring, but it's coming. It's getting closer and closer. All right, now, forearm plank. Make sure that your shoulder and your elbow are in a straight line. I like to hold candlesticks. You can be flat-handed if it feels better. Just make sure this alignment is here. Now, if you want a modified plank, you walk your knees further back until I can be in this diagonal. This is for somebody who never has done a plank before, who's not strong enough. I don't think it's anybody in the room. So I wouldn't want you here. I'd want you here. Next level, lift. Show me your plank. Now take a look at it. Press off the floor with those forearms. And yes, you can also do a full plank, not on your forearms. Forgot to mention that one. No, you're fine. You're fine. I put you in a plank. But I don't want any speed bumps, right? So you tuck that booty and drive that belly in deeper. Don't hold your breath for 8 more counts. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Now listen closely. Lower your thighs to your hips. No belly button. Put it on the mat. Flatten your feet back. I'm still pushing off with my forearms. So my 90-degree angle is still here in my arm. So if you're here, that's wrong. I want 90 degrees. So I'm pushing off my forearm. So you want your elbow under your shoulder. Yep, and then push off those forearms. Connect your knuckles, connect the legs. So here's our goal, to not be moving all around and lifting up the pelvis, right? So my hips, my pelvis, they're on the mat. My belly button is not. Okay, I'm gonna look at my knuckles. And my right leg is gonna briskly 2 times kick my butt. 1, 2, switch. Do you feel a space between your mat and your pelvis? Try to minimize. Now you may not be able to for quite a while, but we be mindful of what our body's doing. Shoulders are heavy. I'm still pushing off that mat with my forearms. Do you feel it in your knees? Yeah, it's a stretch. And 1 more. Good. And then come all the way down. And you're gonna grab your weights. The arms are gonna go behind you, right next to you on your mat. My palms are up. Okay. My legs will be slightly separated. My belly button's pulling in. So I'm gonna take my shoulders and shrug them to my ears. Then I'm gonna roll them up towards the ceiling. And I'm gonna take them down towards my heels, lifting my head and chest because my weights are pulling me up because they're going down. And then release. Try that again. Shrug,
Roll them up so far down. The weights are lifting towards your heels. Your head and chest come up. My neck is in line with my spine. And release. Shoulders to ears. Roll them up. Roll them so far back. Your head and chest go with you. Release. Let's do it one more time. Shrug. Lift. Lengthen. Can you lift your legs off the mat? Can you come a little higher in the upper body? Can you swim with your legs? Keep on swimming. Keep on swimming. 4, 3, 2, release the weights. Stretch back, nice and easy to a child's pose. Are we sweating yet? Yes. For more reasons than one. Okay. Very nicely done. All right, so we're not going to do any more shoulder bridges. We're going to come onto our side now. So you're going to mirror me where my head is on the mat. All right, we're going to have this weight close by, but not in our hands yet. So I'm going to use the back of my mat as a roller, and you can either prop your head up or lay flat on that arm. So I'm in the back of my mat. I'm going to take my feet towards the front edge. This bottom part of my rib cage is staying light on the mat. My free hand is pressing into the mat gently, and my arm and elbow are in my rib cage so I don't rock. I'm going to push down my bottom leg and lift my top leg hip height. That's it. Flex the foot so it's nice and flat, just like the bottom foot. We're going to swing it forward, give a push, sweep it back as far as you can, but don't sweep higher. Forward. Aren't you glad you're right here, Brian?
Yes.
Yeah. And take it back, back. Good. Flex the hip, extend. So I can only go as far as I can keep my hip on top of the other hip and my rib cage still. One more. Forward, forward, back, back, and stack the legs. Rotate the kneecap to face the ceiling of the top leg. Light as a feather. Now reach and work and scoop. Inhale up. Now as I exhale, my belly button is going in deeper and zipping up. Push that bottom leg down, remember, and get that heel on top of your heel. Lift up, reach it long, long and strong, and one more. Bring it up and bring it down. Okay, so I want you to take your top leg, and I'm going to come up like this so I can talk and show you. You can stay where you are, or if this feels more comfortable, you can get up like this. My top leg is going to bend and go towards the ceiling. I'm going to take this weight. I'm going to rest it here. You might want to come up like this. It might be more doable. I know you look so comfortable there, but you can't be like this, right? I'm going to lift this leg and lower, so I'm working my inner thigh. But I'm also working what else? Your belly. So I'm sucking that belly in, because that's how I'm going to use it. I'm going to activate it, pull it in, zip it up. And my toes are reaching down. My heel is slightly higher. If this is too much with the weight, get rid of it, right? Can you feel the inner thigh lifting this leg? Yes? Julie? Yes? Okay. Sue?
Yes.
No, yes. 4, good. 3, belly in, yes. Now hold this one up. Is that going to blow up? And pose. If it gives me any more heat, I'm going to start dying over here. 8, 7, 6. I should not complain though. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Stack your knees now. Now my knees are towards the front edge of my mat. I got space here. I want you to grab onto the weight. We're going to do rotator cuff, and clam. So my leg's going to lift open. Now notice where my upper arm is. It's staying still. It's not going away. It's staying, I shouldn't say it's staying still. It's staying into my rib cage. Does that make more sense? Like, what do you mean staying still? She's moving that arm. Push the bottom leg down. Yes. Are you squeezing in that bottom armpit right here? Connect it, right? Yeah? Move that elbow, Julie, a little more towards you. Yep. Yep, and really push off. And 3, and 2. Now let's do a really fun one. I want you to touch the knees together, but the feet are apart. It's like, and then reverse it. Now nothing else moves. Knee to knee, toe to toe. Your neck should not be getting cranky. If it is, you're putting too much weight like this. 4, 3, get that toe up there. 2, and 1. I'm gonna take that foot behind me. I'm gonna grab that back shin. I'm gonna stretch that side that I've been holding up. And why not just do the other side while we're here? Press that hip down, nice long line. And then bring it back up. Okay, other side. So I line myself up with the back of my mat. If I told you you had less than 15 minutes, would you think class went by fast? You have a lot less than 15 minutes. So don't slow down on me now, okay? Keep working from your core. Okay, slide your feet forward. I like to play fill in the blank, can you tell? Hips are stacked. Arm relaxing into that rib cage. Now pry that top leg open so I didn't go, right? It's flexed just like my bottom foot. Keep your hips stacked. Then I'm going to sweep it forward, give a push, and then sweep it back without this moving, right? So that elbow in my rib cage is going to help hold me still. So I can't go forward or back. I'm going to keep it right up against it. Use your breath. I'm going to exhale forward, all the air out. Inhale from the back of the leg and the glute. Exhale, exhale. Inhale, inhale. One more. Now stack your legs. Top kneecap rotates the ceiling. Push the bottom leg down. Light as a feather. Inhale. Now here is where I work. Way out there. Lift up. Stay on that track. Get that heel to touch that bottom heel maybe. Stretch it, stretch it. This bottom rib cage is still light. Shoulders are relaxed. Last one. Whoop. Good. Now use your free hand to lift you up. Prop yourself up on your forearm. You decide that was going to be the best way to go. Take your top knee towards the ceiling and put that foot behind the bottom leg. If you want, you put the weight on that inner thigh, but not on the knee, right? Here we go. We're going to lift and lower. So I'm not directly on my side, right? I feel my inner thigh lifting that leg as well as my core. Up and down. Exhale. Don't slouch that rib cage and don't keep staring at that leg. I shouldn't say don't so much. I know that. But it's so much easier and quicker. Come on. Up. Exhale. 4. 3. Good. 2. I'm going to hold this one up. Relax those toes. Pulse it. 2. 3. Are you guys ready for rotator cuff and clam? 3. 2, bend both knees in towards the top edge of your mat. So now I'm facing sideways. I got my shoulder and elbow in a straight line. Yes, you do. Here we go. Open. How do you know if you don't have that shoulder connection going on? How do you know? Without me telling you. Do you know how to tell? You just feel all this weight on this shoulder, and the shoulder's getting so tired because you have it overweighted. Connect it to your back. Okay? When you're lifting your leg, there's no rule how high you have to lift it. So if you're taking your hip with you, that's wrong. Resist that arm coming up. Resist the leg going up. Push the bottom leg down. Get that bottom rib cage up a little more. Yes. Doesn't that feel better in your shoulder? See, I told you I'm watching you guys. Can't hide from me back there. You can try. Take your time. And press. 3 more. 3, 2, and 1. Take that top leg behind you. I'm going to grab onto that back shin. Use that as leverage to, now first I've got to go up. I can't side stretch and have my spine all smushed. Now I stretch. I come onto my forearm. And I keep reaching. At the same time, my seat's gonna push down. Can you feel that nice long length? Like, okay, we are ready for teaser. Okay, bend your knees. Weights are optional. So you can't have your feet too close. You won't be able to come back up. I want you to notice how I'm starting. I'm not starting here. I'm starting here. So my arms are in the same diagonal plane as my legs. So they're not straight, they're slightly lifted, okay? Now we're gonna exhale and only go as far down as you know you can come back up. And then we bring it back up, find that lower back. Inhale, I stop here, not here, we talked about that. Exhale down. It's an inhale, believe it or not, up. It's an exhale, down. Doesn't sound right for an ab crunch, right? This is a teaser. Lift it up. Bring it down. Now, if you want, glue the legs together. I want you to kick out the right shin. So my legs are glued together, so that means my thighs and my knees are still connected. So if the first leg was too hard, don't go with one leg. Eyes to belly, find that lower back. I'm gonna lift up, and now take the arm that matches the leg and twist over it. Bring it back to center, roll back down. If that did not feel good to your shoulder or your back, don't use the weight, or maybe don't twist. Eyes to belly, inhale up, exhale, inhale center, exhale. Let's switch the leg out. Thigh to thigh, knee to knee. Eyes to belly, find that lower back. Lift up on the inhale. Exhale, you're twisting over that straight leg. Bring it back up, roll back down, squeeze into those thighs. Oh, thigh to thigh, knee to knee. Or 2 feet on the mat. Lift up, inhale. Oh, don't drop that leg. Exhale. She's like, I know she's talking about me. Inhale, center. Exhale, and hug those knees in. Woo! How'd that go? Just okay. That's all right. Okay, cross your ankles. Rock yourself up and come onto your hands and knees. I got rid of my weights. Towards the top of my mat. Again, I'm going into a plank. Maybe you want to be on your forearms. Maybe you want to stay like this in the quadruped position. But we're going to hold that plank. So if you're doing a full plank, I take one leg back. Don't you dare put the other leg back yet. Here's why. Most people would be sunk like this when they put their first leg back. And then you're going to try and put all the weight, another leg in the back, and you're going to hurt your back. So I'm going to say press your back up against the ceiling. Squeeze into your armpits like you're trying not to drop lemons. Pull the navel in like it's pressing up against the ceiling. Now you take the other leg back. If you had to, you could be just dangling this knee and you wouldn't feel pressure in your back. Make sense? So let's take that right knee in towards our chest and give little pulses. You should not feel strain anywhere, but the belly should be working. Put that foot back down. Other knee comes in. Now pulse it. Is your back up against the ceiling? Are you squeezing your armpits? And 3, 2, 1. I want you to pike your seat up. This should be hardly any weight on your upper body. I'm taking it back. Now lift your toes, round your spine, and bring yourself back to that plank. Now take your right knee to the right outside elbow. Pulse for 3. 1, 2, 3. Put that leg back down. Left knee to left elbow. 1, 2, 3. Can you pike up for me?
Oh, no.
Honesty. Now raise the heels, scoop your belly, come into your plank, and then gently lower to your knees and stretch back. Arms can go behind you, and you can curl the fingertips to your wrists. Now I know this isn't a lot of people's favorite, but we're going to do swimming.
It's really a fun one. It really is. Once you get to really be able to do it well, you appreciate it more, right? So we're gonna come all the way down to our stomachs. Yay. Stay with me. All right. So we're gonna reach our arms all the way out in front of us. Again, when you lay on your stomach, I'm gonna cue to pull your navel lighter off that mat, right? Making a house for a mouse. Now we're gonna start with our head staying on the mat, and we're gonna lift our right arm, left leg. Your hip should be on the mat, belly button off, put it down. Left arm, right leg, so it's always opposite arm as leg. Come back down. Now this time, lift your head and chest with this. Lift up, and then lower. And then left arm, right leg. I inhale as I lift. Exhale. Inhale, freeze. On the exhale, switch sides. Inhale, switch. Exhale, switch. A little faster. Keep on swimming. Keep on swimming. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands by your armpits. Press back. Did that get any more fun yet? No? Okay. It's okay. Perfectly okay. Okay, so I want you to come to a high kneel. Now I want you to take your right foot forward. You made it. You made it. So I've got my leg here in a 90-degree angle. Hands on my thigh. Keeping the spine tall, so I'm not going to go with my leg. I want you to lunge that leg forward, but keep the spine tall. Now, if that was too much of a stretch, go back to the 90-degree angle. Good. Bring it back up. Try that again. Take it forward. Now, can you put a hand on each side of that foot? I'm going to ask you one more thing. Can you flex your back foot and drive your heel so far back that your knee comes off the mat? Now, can you keep your hands where they are and slowly straighten that front leg? Lunge back forward. Bring it back up. Inhale. Think of pyramid in yoga. You're a yogi. And then exhale down. Okay, lower your knee and have your spine come back up tall. Here I'm retracing my steps and bring that foot back. And then my other foot comes forward, my 90-degree angle. Hands on your thighs, and we'll take it forward, if that's okay for you. I'm going to bring it back to that 90. I'm going to inhale. And on the exhale, good. Now let's take one hand on each side of that foot. Flex your back foot. Press that heel so far back it takes the knee off your mat. But your bum should have changed. So if I was here and I said, straighten it, look, I really didn't move my hips higher. So I'm still low. Now start to straighten that front leg. Woo-hoo. And then release it. Try that again. Lift it up. How's that feel? Press the back of that knee towards that mat. Good. Lower your back knee down. Bring your spine back up. I'm going to take this leg back. I'm going to take my knees as wide as my mat. And I want you to give me one final child's pose. You can reach those arms as far as you want. You can stack your fists and let your forehead rest there. You pick it. A nice long stretch. Feel like I'm standing behind you, pressing your hips further down towards your heels. Breathe for me. Inhale and exhale. And one last time. We inhale and we exhale. I'm going to start to walk my hands in towards me. And guess what? All right, nicely done. Stronger you tonight. Woo-hoo.